Hey guys, this is Phil Reynolds. I'm here with four of the 1976 Reds versus the 2016 Cubs. I have to apologize for last game because my game overheated and I basically drained power. So what I think I'm going to have to do is just do one game and then rest my phone for 2 hours and then play a second game. So I'll only be able to do two games a day. So if I do one at one, I'm going to have to wait 2 hours, which means the earliest I could do a game is 4 o'clock. So I could do one at one, and it takes about an hour or so. Then that means I'd be done at 3. So the next earliest I could do is like a 5 or 6 o'clock game. So and that's what I'm going to try to do. Um, Flip it around. Here's our baseball board here. Um, Last time, Baez, when we were playing, he got a 6-game injury, which means he's basically out for the rest of the series. And he had to be replaced by Thomas F. Listel for this matchup with the Reds. Jacob Arrieta is the Cubs pitcher for Game 4. Don Gullett is the Reds pitcher for Game 4. If the Reds win, the series will be over with. If they don't, we'll have a Game 5 back in Chicago. So let's see how close I am. There, right there. So we're going to start with Rose with inning number 1. He got a 55. I'm just going to read the results from the book rather than trying to show you all. 55 is a 7, and that's a single to right, so Rose gets a single. Griffey with man on first. .64, which is a 14. Base on balls. And Arrieta is not a Z or a ZZ pitcher, so that's just a base on balls. We have a man at first and second. First and second there. Morgan up. .44 is an 8 with runners at first and second. Out at first, runners advance one base. Okay. So the runners advance one base. So we now have men at second and third. And that was a put out by the third to first base. So first, 5-3 out. Okay. Runner at second. Means Foster is our next player. He's got a 31. With runners at second and third. 31 is a 9. Fly out. Runners advance one base. Put out by the right fielder. Okay, so one run scores, and you've got a guy at third. Okay, that was an eye. And the put out was by the right fielder. So right, which gives us bench up and a man at third. That's a 43, which is a 29. Renner out first, assist by the pitcher to the basically pitcher to the first baseman. So that's a 1-3 out. Third out of the inning. But the Reds do have a 1-0 lead. Okay, so now it's the bottom of the first. Time for the Cubs to come up. See if they can get any runs in the first inning. Fowler gets a 14, which is a 30. Fly out to the left fielder. Hayward, our second batter. It's a 34. And that's a 31. That's a fly out to the center fielder. Bryant. A 63 is a 30. And that's a fly out by the left fielder. And that's 3 up and 3 down for the Cubs in the first. And at the end of 1, it is the Reds 1 and the Cubs nothing, with Perez up to bat for the Reds in the top half of the second. It's 25, and that's an 8. That's a fly out the center fielder. Geronimo. That's a 53, which is a 16. That's a fly out to the center fielder. Concepcion is up. .43 is a 29. And that's a pitcher to the first base. 1-3. So we go 3 up and 3 down for the Reds in the second. And that means that Rizzo is up for the Cubs in the bottom of the second. And that's a 63, which is a 31. A pop out by the center to the center fielder. Rizzo is out. Zobrist up. It's a 53, which is a 19. First, runner at first. Zobrist gets to first by error due to the third baseman. Okay. So that is an E3. So we have a runner at first. And La Stella is up with a runner at first. It's a 45. And that is a 14 on his card. Base on balls. So we have runners at first and second. Looks like the Cubs have a rally going. Russell's up. 61 is a 13. That's a strikeout. Yep, that's a strikeout. All right. Contreras up with 2 outs and 2 on. That's a 64. That's a 14. Base on balls. So we got runners on all 3 corners. And that puts the pitcher, Arrieta, up. And we're going to, since it's early, we're going to do a bunt with the bases loaded. Let's see here. And that's a 56, which is a 13. So that means that he struck. So that's a strikeout, and that ends the inning. All right. Gullett is up for the Reds in the third with nobody on. The score is 1-0 Reds. And that is a 1-1, which is a 7. And that is a single to right. All right, Gullett. Getting things started on the right way for the Reds this inning. Throws up. 65 with a runner at first, which 65 is a 35. Foul out. But that's a foul out to the catcher. Griffey. That's a 14 with runner at first. It's a base on balls. All right. You got there with a single. Men at first and second. Morgan up. 1 out. 64 is a 14. Steals second with bases empty only. So the bases are not empty. So 14 is base on balls. So it fills the bases, and we've got the bases loaded, and Foster is up. And there's only one out. And we got a 65, which is a 35 with the loaded. That is a strikeout for Reds fans are not pleased with that. That's the second out of the inning. So that puts up bench with the bases loaded. Come on, Johnny. It's a 35, which is a 14. Huh, he gets walked. So we get a run in. So Gullett will score. Bench gets walked. All right. So the score is now 2-0 Reds. In the top of the third. Oh. Big Dog Perez is up with the bases loaded. I have a feeling I know what this is going to be. It's a 21, which is a 30 with the bases loaded. Up, fly out, runners hold. Oh, and that was to left field. Fly out to left field, runners hold, and that will be our third out of the inning, which means Geronimo will be up when we go to the top of the fourth. So, we got one run that inning, and that's pretty much it. We've got Fowler up in the bottom of the third inning here. And that's a redo, as you can see. That's 11. That's a 44, which is a home run. All right. Cubs come to life in the bottom of the third. Hayward. It's a 62, which is a 26. Let's see what a 26 is with the bases empty. That's an out first. So that's an out, and that's by the second baseman. So that is a 4-3 out. That's the first out. Bryant. .55, which is 44. That's a 7, and that's a single to right. Wait a minute, looking at the wrong person. That's a fly. See, that's a 1-3 out. Russell. It's a 31, which is a 14. That's a base on balls. Contreras, 56, that's a strikeout. Arrieta bat, it's still still close. It's a 2-1 game, so we're gonna let Arrieta bat. 14 is a 30 and that's a fly out to left field. So after 4 innings, it's the Reds 2 and the Cubs 1. And Rose comes up to the plate in the top of the 5th. We got 54, which is a 32. It's a fly out to the left fielder. Griffey is up. .35, which is a 9. Single. So we have Griffey there with on first. Morgan is now up with runners at first. That's a 16-28. Safe at first, runner out. So Morgan is safe at first. And runner is out at second. And that's shortstop. Foster's up. Runner at first. 54 is a 32. Fly out. And as that's the third out of the inning, 54 is 32. Yeah, that's by the right fielder. That will put Bench up in the 6th. And we have Fowler up first for the Cubs in the bottom half of the 5th. And he gets a 35, which is a 40. Foul ball, so that's basically a strike. .66, that is a 0, that is a re-roll. It's a 54 with the second column. The base is empty, that is a 6, and it's a double to right So we have a man at second. Runner at second. That puts Hayward up. And since there are no outs, Hayward's going to try to bunt the man at second over to third. And that's a 33. Safe at first, runner out at third. And that was pitcher to shortstop. Six. Oh. All right. Man at first. The base is empty. And Bryant is up. All right. Oh, not the base. Okay, there's one man at first. Bryant is up. He got a 31. That is a 9. 9 is a single. Beats out infield hit, so runner to second. So we have people second. And that puts Rizzo up. And the Reds are going to decide to bat to one more player. With Rizzo, that's a 33. 33 is a 5 with runners at first and second. 5. Triple to right field bullpen. So the Cubs, Rizzo just got a triple. So the Cubs just tied the game in the bottom of the yeah. Okay, so the Rod, and that means that we got a triple. Okay, and that means Zobrist is up. And the Reds are going to go to their bullpen. And Raleigh Eastwick now is going to pitch for the Reds. So he went 4 1/3. So Gullett went 4 1/3 innings. Zobrist is gonna hit with man at third. There's a 65, and that is a 35. foul out to the shortstop. So that's to the shortstop. 6. That's our second out. Puts LaStella up. Bottom of the 5th. LaStella's up with a man at third. 44 is an 8. It says fly out, runner scores, but by the right fielder, so that is our third out basically. So Russell will be hitting in the 6th. We have Bench up at the plate to start 6th inning. Oh, I'm just looking at this, and at the end of 5, the Cubs are winning 3-2, and we're in the top of the 6th. It's a 36, which is a 33, with nobody out. A 33 is a 6. That's a double by Bench. So Bench is wanting to get that run back. Okay, Perez's turn. With man at second. .62, and that's a strikeout. Because 62 is a 13. That's a out. That's our first out. Mike Lump played for the first time, which is a 32. Fly out by the right fielder. Runner holds. And puts Concepcion up at the plate with man at second. 66, that is a 0. 60 is a 6. That's a double. So Concepcion gets a double, which means Bench scores, which means we now have a tie game in the top of the 6th. Our pitcher, Eastwick, is up to the plate. And with the runner at second, he's gonna try to bunt. Well, there's 2 outs. We're gonna have him bunt anyway. Let's see if we can get lucky here. 24 is a 13. He struck out. Oh, it says foul strike. So he did not strike out. It's just a strike. It's right now, Jerry. And we got a runner at. The pitcher is up, and I'm gonna try to bunt him over with 2 outs. So yeah, he's got to be safe on this. 55 with a runner at second, and that's 13, and that is a foul. That's strike 2 for Raleigh East. Still trying to bunt. 46 is a 13. That's strike 3. So Raleigh Eastwick struck out on that one. He struck out trying to bunt. So that means Rose will be up in the top of the 7th. And Russell is at the bottom of the 6th. Russell's up bottom of the 6th with nobody on. It's a 26, which is a 13, so Russell strikes out. 1 away. Contreras. .42, that is a 22, and with nobody on, 42 is a 22, and out at first, that's first base to the pitcher. It's 3-1 put out. That brings Arrieta to the mound, which means we're gonna bunt for him. Pinch hit for him in the bottom of the 6th. We're gonna bring Schwarber up. We're going to bring Schwarber up as a pinch hitter here. Good as time as any with the score tied. With this happening, they're hoping maybe he'll be a big banger and get him ahead again. 51 is a 9. With the bases empty, Schwarber gets a single. All right. And the big home run man, Fowler, who's, I know, knocked out 2, not today, but 2 home runs in the series. And he gets a 23. That's a 12 with a man at first. So, but being as runner at first, Fowler's got a 23, which is a 12, which is a double play, which is basically to the shortstop. Four to 6. And that will put Hayward up in the bottom of the 7th. In the top of the that was the bottom of the 6th, and the score is 3-3, and we have Rose up for the 7th. 36 is 14. That's wait a minute. Griffey. 63 is a 31. Yeah, Griffey is a 31. I'm sorry, 31. So basically, that's a fly out to the. I was reading the wrong thing again. That's a fly out to the center fielder. So that's first out. Sometimes I'm reading the black numbers when I should be reading the red. So Morgan is man at first, 8. Out at first, runner to second. And that was by the second baseman. Three, 2 outs. Runner at second. Bench is up. Runner at second. No, I'm sorry. That's. Morgan just. Okay, Foster's up. I'm sorry. Foster's up. Man at second. 46 is a 13 with a man at second. It's a strikeout. And that will be the end of the inning. The Reds, after 7 are tied, going to the bottom of the 7th. Bench will be up in the 8th. And we have Hayward for the Cubs in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 46, which is a strikeout. Bryant. Bryant hits a home run. Wow. So that makes it a 4-3 game in favor of the Cubs. Rizzo is up. .54 to 32 with nobody on. That's a fly out to right field. Zobrist up, 2 outs. 56, it's a 13. And that means that is a strikeout. So 4 up that inning with a home run by Bryant. And we go to the top of the 8th with the Reds being down a run. And Bench is up. There we go. 13 is a 14. Base on balls. Perez is up with one on. Runner at first. 46 is a 13. That's a strikeout. Mike Lum up. That's 13, which is a 14. Base on balls. So the Reds got a little rally here going. And we got runners at first and second. And being as the pitchers due up next, Concepcion's going to hit. It's 25, which is an 8. Out at first, runners advance one base. So we that was a put out by the third baseman. 3. That's 2. It means that the Reds have to go to get a pitch hitter, and they will bring in Dan the Man Dreesen, and being as we're in the 8th inning, Eastwood will be pinch hitting for the Bourbon will be pitching yeah, I lost connection last game, but I did make a video of the game finale, and I actually put the score in the APB website there. So we have Dan Dreesen pinch hitting. With runners at second and third. And that is a 15. Is an 11. That's a single. And runners at the corners, which means Dreesen did his job. That was a single. And at first and third with 2 outs, and Rose is up at the plate. And that means the score is once again tied 4-all. And Rose, with 2 outs, he can't bunt. 53, which is a 19. Single. Runners advance one base. So we got a man at first and second, and 1 run in. So the Reds have a 5-4 lead, which means the Cubs they're going to bring in Chapman. They're going to bring in Chapman, so Griffey is up. Okay. And that is a 54 with men at first and second. Is 32. Fly out. Runners hold. And that's to center field. So that's the third out of the inning. Stella is up for the Cubs. And this is the bottom of the 8, and the Reds are up 5-4. 55 is an 8. That's a fly out. Russell. It's 35. The ground out to the first baseman. Contreras. .42 is a 22, and that's an out as well by the first baseman. So nothing doing for the Cubs in the bottom of the 8th. It's Morgan up in the top of the 9th. Yeah, so far it's 5-4 Reds. 52, which is a 27. That's out by the third baseman. Foster is up with no outs. 16 is 28. That's out by the shortstop. Up, nobody on. 31. And that's a pop out to the center fielder. Okay. So, the Cubs come to the last inning. They've got their pitcher spot open, and Chapman was pitching, so they're going to take Chapman out. And they're going to put in Montero. So Montero is going to be pitch hitting for Chapman. So can we get a homer off the pinch hitter. We got 34, which is an 8. And that's a fly out to center field. Way. Up. 4 is a 32. That's a fly out the right field. All right, Hayward. Bourbon close it out. Hayward is looking to get a home run to extend it. Let's see what happens. 25 is a 9 with the bases empty. Well, Hayward decides he's going to get a single. Bryant, man, 2 outs. Cubs did this last game. Let's see. That's an 11. That's 5 with a runner at first base. Oh my God, guys! Guess what? Bryant just hit a home run. Reds lose. Oh wow! The Reds lose off the last pitch of the game. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Reds lose off the last pitch of the game. There was a runner at first. So tune in tomorrow, guys. We're going to have a game 5. I don't know who's pitching or anything like that, but yes, we will have a game 5. I need to rest my phone. So it was a good one. It was kind of just like last game where the Cubs tried to come back, only in the last game they didn't. This time they did. Take care.